People always like to ask, what are you doing with your life? What do you got in store? How are you using or making the most of your time? A lot of people reflect, look back at their lives, become disappointed, think that they've let themselves down or become a failure. So it's like one of two things. What are you doing? What do you care to do? What gives you fulfillment, meaning, and purpose? And then, on the other hand of things, do you feel fulfilled? Like, on top of everything of just being who you are and what you want to do and accomplish, is it satisfying your soul? A lot of people go through life just like ghosts, zombies, not with the full understanding and just going through the motions. But I really challenge you and encourage you to look at your life, experiences, tests, trials, learn from those and understand how you can reposition yourself to do, the most for the greater good. Always about serving the kingdom, serving God, our Father in heaven, serving the people, serving the masses, reaching out, helping, giving, teaching, loving, instructing. All these things, man, on top of the gifts God has already given you to excel. So don't get discouraged. If anything, humble yourself and understand maybe you're at a point to where you're at a crossroads. You don't know where to go. You don't honestly know what you should be doing, but you know that you can have faith and trust in the process. Where do we go? What do we do? It's always about, digging deep, figuring that out. It may not come overnight, it may not come within a week, a month, it may come within a few years. But as long as you're on that road to understanding, that road to development, and taking it a day at a time, putting God first, everything's already okay. Your steps are being planned out. They're being strategized out already. So don't get too discouraged about your age, where you are. A lot of people like to deem success or tie success into things that we've earned or things that we have monetary gain, value. Whereas times I'll be like, man, don't tie it into how much money you got. There's certain women who try to tie their value to, like, if they have a relationship and kids just yet. Are they married? In a lot of cultures, they always be like, you're not married yet? And it's like, no, I'm not. Everything has to be done, or people think things have to be done in the time that they perceive they have to be done in, or the world's time. And God don't operate on the world's time. God don't think about things in the way the world does. It's very dangerous being out here, man, because you take into account what you see around you when what's around you isn't what's for you. It doesn't pertain to your life holistically. You can't be on social media scrolling, looking at celebrities, thinking that the lifestyle they have is the lifestyle. And since you haven't equated to that, you're missing out. It's that weird kind of FOMO perspective where it's like social media ruins the healthy minds of our youth. Get off the timeline scrolling, get outside, work on something, get at your desk, make something happen, work on a project, create something. So in today's day and age, it's all about looking at what the next man has, and don't, thou shalt not covet, that's a commandment, you know what I mean? It's a foundation set up to understand. Don't look at what people have and covet what they have or want what they have. Look towards the Lord for everything he provides and will provide for you. So you got to keep pushing. Have faith first and foremost, but put some works into action. A lot of people beat themselves up. They take to themselves like a punching bag. And it's really the deterioration of their future. People get started at 40, 50, 60 years old. And, if you could hear their story or their testimony, they tell you a lot of uplifting things as far as don't give up. There's never a late time to start. Always stay encouraged. Age. A lot of people don't believe in that type of thing. So the people that do believe in limitations are the people who are limited. So don't take that outlook. Don't entrust in folks who are always deteriorating your optimism and the fact that you look towards a brighter day, the fact that you look towards better things and you continuously have hope. Those people are people you don't need in your circle. The world is made up of a lot of different types of us as human beings and as mindsets, people with certain perspectives and a certain perception. Don't fall into the trap of being surrounded by the ones that'll manipulate you, sabotage you. Oh, you can't do that. You want to do what? That's your downfall right there, man. Surround yourself with the GOATs. Surround yourself with the greats. The people who are out here achieving or are in the direction that you aspire towards, or the direction that inspires you. So I wanted to make this video mainly on that because, you know, I saw a topic on this earlier this morning about, life and death. And when you look at somebody's headstone and there's that dash between the years that they were alive or on this earth, what did they do with that time? How did they spend that time? And the video was like, what did you do with the dash? So, you know, some people born October something, 1985, and then he lived through, January 2027, or who knows, 2020, who knows. But that time frame in between, how was you living your life? How was you spending your years? Were you fulfilled? Did you do the things that you wanted to accomplish? How did you actually cater to or serve others? How far did you go with your relationship with God? How much time did you spend reading the Word? How much time did you spend in prayer? How much time did you spend cultivating that relationship with Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior? So these are things that it kind of gets your brain stirring, your brain thinking about, how did I spend those years I had on earth? And a lot of people just, the veil is covering their eyes and they just get blinded. They're out here like robots, zombies, going through motions. And then when they're on their deathbed, that's when they have all the reflection. A lot of people don't have the chance to be on their deathbed and reflect. A lot of people's death is instantaneous. They don't have time to think. They're just gone. They're here and they're gone. So just the quickness, the speed of light type of essence that there is to life. You're here one day, you could be gone the next. You never know when you're going to leave or how your death will happen. These things, think about these things now. In the Bible, it talks about a wise man thinks about death. Or actually, only a fool doesn't consider their death or think about it. So a lot of people don't think about dying. You shouldn't have negative thoughts. But a man who doesn't think about dying is a clown. He's a court jester. He's a fool. Because in the understanding of death, you have an appreciation for life and understanding how to, one, prioritize your things of God first, to things of others second, to be there for others, to spend time with your family, your loved ones, to reconcile broken things, relationships, to forgive others, even if they haven't forgiven you. It's just a certain peace and a calmness and a serenity you need to have within your spirit, and then you navigate accordingly. To understand death is to understand that God created you uniquely. You have a time clock. Do the most that you can with the time that you're allotted, and understand that you have a due date, that you're going to go soon. So you have your loved ones or things that you could set straight, because a lot of people, it's always that situation where folks, are saddened by how they left the relationship before they had the chance to reconcile, before somebody passes, and they had this whole type of animosity towards each other. They weren't on the best of terms, and then they were here and then they were gone the next day. So the people who ain't thinking about death and, reflecting on their life and what they've done, tend to live in kind of a hollow space. Because once you take that time to kind of sit down, and even if you're not on your deathbed, right, you're retrospectively looking at your life, you're able to not glaze over or skim over things that you did in the past. You're able to look at the details, the fine tuning. And a lot of people, they don't want to look at the details. They don't want to look at the fine tuning, because a lot of that is where a lot of the true sentiment, the pain, the emotional recovery is, They just want to kind of skip over traumas and things of the past, but that's all a part of facing things head on and being strong in your growth and your development, man. Comment down below if you have, you get where I'm coming from, and these are things that you think about a lot. A lot of us think about these things, man. You're not alone out here in this thought process. Don't think that people don't hear you, or you're not seen or heard and God don't see you or hear you. Continue to you know, make the most of the time you have on this earth. Continue to spend time expanding your knowledge and understanding of the Lord our God, and knowing that you have a place, you know, a place after this place. We're only visitors here, that you have a home in eternity, in heaven, you know. So accept Jesus into your life, man, and then move forward accordingly, because that opens a lot of doors and changes a lot of things as well. So peace, love, prosperity, man. I always gotta talk about my faith. You know, a lot of people may wonder why you talk about God all the time, but you know, that's the true origin, that's the true foundation, the essence that, you know, creates the conversations and curated me into who I am. You know, God always been there, had my back throughout all my life. So even on the times to where you know, I was possibly rebelling or wasn't even considering developing my relationship with him. But I'm not in that place now. Now I always have a continuous, even though I make mistakes, I have a continuous understanding of his presence, and him being in my life and the relationship he longs to have for me, and that it's something that I have to continuously mend and build on, and the love he has for me, and his promises that he have in his word that, you know, are irrefutable. So, you know, these things I hold close to my heart, or I cherish. So peace, love to everybody out there. We're all in this together. Subscribe to the channel. You know, this is a channel to where we can come together and have these conversations, because I know that not everybody's talking about these things. Some people don't have anybody to go to within their personal life. So, hey, subscribe to the channel. Fabian Speaks, man. We're here. So much love, peace, love, prosperity. God bless y'all. We'll see y'all in the next video, man. We out.